started in the kitchen for the first couple of weeks because I have some restaurant background, and then I also do freelance writing, so I've been wanting to be more involved in communications. So my name is Rese Bourdeau, and what I do here depends on the day. Kitchen for 2 weeks, now communications and data entry, and then I've done everything from clean the outhouses to take recycling to cutting up vegetables. Today I stopped at a garage sale on the way into town from Staten. And while I was at the sale, I told a woman I'm buying this 25-cent pot to take down to the kitchen in the village of Occupy Salem. She immediately gets this look and says, I don't think my husband would be happy. You know, he's a plumber and he's angry that people want all corporations disband. I listened to her whole story for about 5 minutes. Other people were at the garage sale, and I said, but that's not what it's about at all. You know, 99% of people, in that 99%, there are several corporations, there are several families. It's about trillionaire corruption. 1% has trillionaire corruption of huge, huge, huge conglomerate business that aren't reinvesting in this country. That's my belief. But yours doesn't have to be the same. However, I just encourage everybody to keep asking questions and keep listening, not to watch some little bit piece that's on the news and make a judgment call, or some ranting radio character that has an agenda. We have a lot of people that bring things. We have a lot of people that come to check it out because they have seen things. Some people tell me their story. I mean, I always try and walk up when I see somebody that is obviously looking, as I think I did you, and people sometimes tell their story and others don't say anything. So I'm like, if we're completely transparent, then there's nothing to hide. You know, so if they're concerned and don't feel comfortable sharing their name or even where they live or whatever, that's cool. You know, I still say, do you have any questions? They'll say, well, we're just here, you know.
We've also had, we have more people in the daytime up until about, after we move our tents. People stick around till after the tents are moved, and then we drop to about 30 people, including people who sleep in their tents, and then people who staff the area down here, the community, to make sure that our services stay going, and we have peacekeepers who are awake and on point at all times. I'm Michelle Dahr, and I'm spokesperson, police liaison, and organizer.
When you last spoke to me, you described it as a model village. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, it still is. It's an expanded version even of what it was when I talked to you last. And we've still got the 24-hour kitchen, the 24-hour medical tent, in which we take care of people in both of those capacities all the time. And we also are finding ourselves in the need of mental health services and more outreach for veterans, more PTSD support, and things that we're really seeing a lot of at night are people who needing to talk, people needing to have a place to kind of unload the psychic stuff that builds up, and due to the events that leading up to the occupations. We have compost and recycling and solar panels and a generator, small gas generator, although we're going to be transitioning to a bicycle generator once we get some instruction on how to build that. So that's fun. It's all of us. It belongs to all of us.
Yeah, I want the HTL one, or HTPTB. Okay. The Summit tent right now is a little bit kind of a disarray because I'm doing some overhaul cleaning, and I'm a little bit behind on it for a few days. So anywho, I got it cleaned up. Right now we got 3 cots. That one's right now is for staff, the medics over there, and this one is for the attending, which is myself. This is where a patient will be. Now, we have to have 2 patients. Then I will be more happy to sleep on the floor. I have a foam mat, a foam roll-up pad, and a mummy bag. So I'll be comfortable on the floor. Only power supply though is batteries, and it's kind of embarrassing, but that is our power supply. That powers our lights. That powers the laptop, and it's kind of a little peeve of mine, but we need to get electricity in here. So, real electricity. And we are working on that. But I mean, it's a field cleanup. That's what it is. So we got to make do with what we got. But we got all sorts of, we got supplies, we got bandages, we got gauze, cotton balls, ointments, pretty much everything you could use for a field hospital. The only thing we don't do is like cutting, stitches, serious stuff, you know, and even minor stuff. We don't do lancing of like, you know, pusses, like boils or whatnot. So I was just in the process of doing, shoot, dog! I was in the process of chasing dogs out.
Last night at the GA, General Assembly, they decided it would be a good idea to have a place of silence for adults and play for children. So this is the natural place here in this wonderful little museum. So we just put together some toys, some hand sanitizer, and stuff that the kids could use. Put out that it would be good to have a tent because we've been blessed with this for October at the end, but we probably won't be much longer. So this is the beginning of another place that can be quiet for adults and whatever sound children want to make. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, and I'm not sure that brick wouldn't go through the box. Yeah, it has a brick in it.
Okay, that's it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you, guys.
And like always, as soon as something needs to happen, they come. It's just great.
Yeah. I think I showed up here about 8 days ago, something like that. I think this action had been in process at about that time for 2 days. And I found sort of what I expected to find when I came down here. I found a lot of people who had a passion and whose spirits were in the trim, but they were running around here like chickens with their heads cut off and not really sure where to go next. My name is Tad Stuck, and right now my duty is to be the operations coordinator. This morning I met for the first time with some folks who are really serious about alleviating me as much as possible of some of the burdens that I'm carrying right now. And I would say to you that really since the inception we've been running on a skeleton crew. These people are tired and they need support. And they're holding down multiple positions across several committees, and I'm one of them. And that means that for the last 4 or 5 nights I've got maybe 2 hours. So we're really pulling hard for the people right now. We're fighting the good fight, you know. And it's not easy. People have lives, people are going through divorces, people are facing evictions. And they have a special onus upon them. We're asking them to work directly for us, do something special for us, and focus their attention for us. Not go work a job out there in the world. No, we say we don't want you to take time to do that. And we'd rather have you here all the time working for us. But then what are we going to do? Just work them until they fall off, you know, their shoes and what? So the General Assembly needs to address some issues, that's for sure. And that's part of what I'm doing, is I'm doing my best to ask good questions and make suggestions. Operations is straddling, you know, all committees right now. The thing about operations, when operations was ratified by the General Assembly, which has been empowered to create committees and ask volunteers to fill them, if the General Assembly creates a committee and asks volunteers to fill, and there aren't any, and it falls on operations to either run that committee or get volunteers to run it, and to facilitate implementing services and material to, among other things, provide facilities to the committees, okay? Make recommendations, best processes, be connected with processes and procedures, which is another committee, and they're an advisory group. They advise the General Assembly, we established that. We need to talk to each other and listen to each other, and this is why I'm calling for convergence. Converge on capitals, but all occupy, converge. Because when human beings converge, they school. And that's what we need to do. We need to school ourselves, we need to listen to ourselves, we need to learn, because we're going to be moving now that we have formed ourselves this unity. We're going to move as a unity. Well, we need to illuminate this movement. All right? I have a vision. I tweeted this to the world, of the day when we will hold our first global General Assembly. And I'm the one who tweeted that I call upon all Occupy to agree to form the means and the methods of our interconnecting all Occupy to all other Occupy, however they may wish to be, so that we may never be divided and so that we may act as one. And so we need to tour around all of us to all the other Occupies and learn from each other, among other things, I think.
Mic check!
We're missing
We're missing
2 brand new cable links
2 brand new cable links
that are green
that are green.
that we're going to string on this building.
We're going to swing on this building.
Has been found, never mind.
Never mind.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's how they signal each other and keep track and protect each other. They have meetings on how to respond to the public if they're antagonistic. And
This woman is partly handicapped. She also has the handicap sticker in her car. She leaves. The next thing we know, she comes back with a bag of food for the food tent. Then she meets a couple of the people that are staying, that are living in tents, and so now every day she's been kind of talking to one of them and seeing what they need and going to get it at the store. Finally, she admits to me yesterday that she's on a real limited income. She was military when she was young. I think she looks about 75 years old. So when she was young, she's talking she was in World War II.
I was a state worker for over 30 years in the employment division. And I was in the Navy, joined during the Korean War.
Wow.
Was stationed finally overseas, and that was toward the end of the Korean War that I went overseas, but then it was the beginning of the Cold War. And I love people. I love helping people, and I have to be very careful with my budget. I wish I didn't have to be so careful. They've got a good cook here now. Things are organized. Their main thing is keep things clean, keep things sanitized. People are bringing in food, and they're going to stay forever if that's what it takes. We've got to get Wall Street under control. Our government has to realize that we need to get Wall Street under control. They're trying to keep things clean and organized. Like I had an aunt saying, oh, they're down there ruining the lawn and making everything muddy and dirty. And I says, Mom, her Aunt Grace, no, they're not making everything dirty. They're trying to keep it as clean as possible. Now, when I was a kid, you took me camping. Can you imagine these people being out in the cold at night in sleeping bags? At one point, the state sprinklers came on and all their gear was soaked. Can you imagine trying to sleep on a soaking wet pillow?
Wow.
We've got to thank everybody that's down here. People helping people, that's what we're about. That's what the United States is about. I want to sing God Bless America. When are we going to sing that? We're going to sing that one of these days.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Woo! Look at that dog's eyes. It's all right. It's all right, Dougie. Woo! Be sure to get a picture of your sign, too, okay?
Okay.
And show the generator someone donated it, but of course they're amazing. I imagine some people that don't have tents sleep out here at night, so they have to leave. They have to go over to the church. But we've got to I'm going to send notes to both of these churches for being so nice to these folks. I mean, they don't have to do that. There's other people out there like an aunt that says, oh, they aren't going to accomplish anything. What's a few people down at the park that are camping? They're making the yard all dirty and muddy and all of this. And I said, I'm a taxpayer. That I have a right to go to that park and walk my little dog and look at things. I have a right to be standing on the steps of our Capitol building. I have a right to walk in the mall. That's our God-given right, and that's our state right and federal rights to do this. The state of Oregon realize we have to have permits to do this. I don't know if that costs anything. They have the permits, but I don't know who's paying for it or if there is a cost. They had a big march today at noon. I wasn't here. I didn't know they were having one.
I think they're having one every Saturday now.
Every Saturday now at noon. I went to one. We went clear down. I couldn't get across that last road into the park because of my hip replacement, complete hip replacement, and it'll never stop hurting, but at least I can stand up. But I got down as far as that last road, and 3 people grabbed my arms and walked me back. I got to the point I couldn't take another step. And I was in Parish Junior High in the band. I was in North High, class of 52. And we marched. I joined the Navy. I had no trouble knowing how to march. I've had a wonderful life. And this makes me so happy. All these different ages of people coming together and doing this. This is what America is supposed to be. I just wished our Salem Statesman newspaper would realize just one line on the front page every day. If there's going to be a march, or if a speaker is going to come and talk to us, or what they need in food or clothing or blankets to survive all of this, what the people here would need, just drop it off at the corner. Like I told my aunt that was giving me a hard time when I said, do you have a blanket or 2 or a pillow that you can donate? No. What good is that gonna do that, being down there? I said, would you like to go? I'll come and pick you up and drive you down. We'll have a snack or eat at a restaurant somewhere. No, I don't want to have to look at that mess. Because see, this is what you're seeing on TV in Portland. Okay? That's given her an impression that it's dirty, crowded, and we're all going to have That's what the statesman said when they don't come down here and find out what's going on. And I said, what, are you waiting for something bad to happen and then you'll put it in your paper? You're not coming down and interviewing people and seeing what it's about or what they need? And he wouldn't answer, and I could tell the newsman was getting upset with me. And I said, you're waiting for a riot or a fight or drunks, right? For the police to come. You're not coming down to see what the everyday activity was and the hardship that these folks are going through at all ages. Some are staying night and day. Others, like the couple at the corner, they're from Staten, and they've come down to contribute their time today. Isn't that wonderful? All the way from Staten. Anyway. Bring some friends next time when you come.
Yeah.
That's what I told the young man that walked over here from Parish Junior High. And he was wanting to know what's going on. And he was smart enough, intelligent enough to come over and talk to people and find out what was going on. I was born and raised in Salem, Oregon. And being in the Navy, I've been around a great part of the world. And saw people living in tents and pieces of cardboard as their roofs when I was young, in my early 20s. And this breaks my heart when I see people lined up now for food, sleeping at night, and this poor little girl, Willow, in a wheelchair, has no permanent home or family to help her. These folks are feeding her. Okay, that's enough.